What's up, everybody? A little sick right now after SAG Con Columbus this weekend, so my voice might be a little bit raspier and snifflier than usual. But I figured I'd do another gold fishing video through the deck since it seems like a lot of people are picking it up right now. So just wanted to provide more information, see if we can help people out, get some good starting hands, and build a more full understanding of how it runs. Not going to do matchup based stuff yet. We're just going to run through a couple of random hands, just kind of see the deck function first. Obviously, things always look better when you're not dealing with interaction and competition, but just kind of see how the deck goes, look at some hands, see what I would keep, wouldn't keep. This one doesn't have enough ramp. This one is medium. There's just too many lands. You don't really want to pick anything to the Chrome Mox, pitch anything to Chrome Mox, but this one theoretically could work out. I don't think I would keep this, but I kind of want to see how it functions for the fun of it. A Hullbreaker is actually kind of nice. So yeah, I'll just grab Tropical Island. Definitely keeping the Tezzeret here. So Chrome Mox will pitch the Fimage, and then you would, I think, just tap two for Kinnan first. Make sure you're beating out Dranith and stuff. Mana-wise, it functions the same. We're not holding up anything. Turn two, love to see a Ristic. So you just get to go Breeding Pool untapped, pay two for Arcane Signet, and then tap three for a Ristic Study. Draw one or two cards in the cycle, untap again, play another land. Funny enough, you could cast Seagate Restoration here. I don't think that's what we'd actually go for. I think I would just play a Talisman of Curiosity, and then probably tap five for a... Oh, we could go Tezzeret into Archaic here is intriguing. Which also, if you think, can you win? Yes, you can win from this position. Okay. So if you, for some reason, didn't think there was any interaction, it's definitely safer. So, I mean, realistically, what I would do is I would play Wandering Archaic first, and you would wait a turn here. If, for some reason, you knew that the window was completely open, someone had gone for a win attempt and had just been stopped by a bunch of interaction, and it was clear that everyone had kind of thrown out everything they could do. Really easy line here would be 4 and 5. Throw out a Tezzeret, down tick Tezzeret, go get Basalt, make infinite colorless mana, tap another 2, play Hullbreaker Horror, and then you can use Wandering Archaic to start the loop, where then you can filter that mana into Arcane Signet with bouncing stuff and win the game. Realistically, though, more likely to play Wandering Archaic first there. That was a turn 3 win. Let's check this out. This is great mana hand. Seems perfectly acceptable to me. Wish it was a different land, but that's fine. So, draw for turn. Honestly, love to see a Mindbreak Trap. Make sure you have the interaction for the turbo decks. Tropical Island. Elf, go to turn 2. Otawara, going to play out a Kinnan. Tap this for 2 for an Arcane Signet. Sadly, this is Simic Signet, so we would be able to continue the chain, so I'm just going to use Scrap Gorger first here. Go to turn 3, again holding up a Mindbreak Trap if needed. Cycrift is totally fine, so we get to go Homeward Path. Now we are presenting 6, 7, 8, 9 total mana. Super, super nice. So tap 2 for a Simic Signet, and then you get to go 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I tend to always do Scrap Gorger last just because it has that additional utility. We're going to just Invasion for a Seaborn Muse. Turn 2 Seaborn, or no, turn 3 Seaborn. Not bad. I mean, wonderful ramp start. Obviously, now you untap in your opponent's turns. You'll get 1 activation per each person's turn, where you also get to hold up the Cycrift. I think because we have the Cycrift, which is 7 mana, I'm probably spending on end step in these positions just to make sure that I can hold this up if necessary. So first turn, we would end up with a whiff. Second person's turn, we would end up with a whiff, not going well. And third person's turn, it's got to be something, right? Just an elf? Just an elf. All right. What a failed cycle. We'll untap and draw on our turn 4, hit a Worldly Tutor, which feels pretty bonkers, actually. Can we win from that position? I do not believe so. But we can get whatever creature we desire here. We don't have the rocks to go for Hullbreaker or anything. So yeah, I mean, in this situation, it's going to be very contextual on the matchup. I can definitely see just going for Consphinx here, making sure you have that down to deal with interaction. Because you have the Homeward Path and the Seedborn, there's definitely an argument for Chimera here as well. Void Winnower against certain decks, if you're against like something like Tivit or Time that doesn't have a time down, just completely shuts them out of possibly coming close to winning the game. And when you're in a situation that you are spinning every turn cycle, especially right now where you're producing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana, so close to 2 spins, only 1 spin a cycle and not able to hold up the cycle with it, playing something like a Void Winnower that takes away your opponent's ability to continue to do things, and just relying further on spins will eventually get you there. Another really good argument, always depending on interaction base, could be Nyx Bloom Ancient. Like I said, though, it's really hard to decide here just based on not having any matchup in mind, but all of those are super valid options, and it's just weighing which one's best against the table. I think we can move on to the next one. Disgusting. Here we have a turn 1 One Ring, so, I mean, we're 100% keeping this. Sometimes skill doesn't matter, right? We'll just, Mana Crypt here, Breeding Pool, Chrome Mox, we don't need a Resculpt. Now there is a genuine argument for, if you are on the play, there's a world where you would do Arcane Signet into Rhystic Study first. That exists and is like fairly reasonable. I think if we're in like a later seat position, I probably just go One Ring first. Draw a card in the cycle on the end step. Go to our next turn. I'm going to untap and tap the One Ring, so we're just going to draw 1 extra card here. Oh, well, that was also our draw for turn then. Okay, went a little too far. So then you get to Flintstrand, crack it for Tropical Island. Close and shuffle. Tap 2. Sorry, tapped. Play out Kinnan. And then play out a Mox Opal. Tap these. Actually, we have 7 here. You know what? Who needs a Rhystic Study yet? I'll show you a Nezahal. Oh, actually, wait a second. We have Arcane Signet. So tap one of those for Arcane Signet, and then tap Arcane Signal that for Nezahal. This is disgusting. Draw like 2 cards in the cycle, maybe. Untap, tap the One Ring on upkeep. So we'll draw 2 more. And then we will go to draw for turn. Who even ever needs a Rhystic Study, you know? Kind of irrelevant, huh? So we have the Moon Silver Key here, which is pretty nice. So yeah, we'll go Ancient Tomb as our land for turn. We have 1 piece of protection in Pact of Negation. Do we go for the win? Or, like, we're in such a dominant position. How much mana do we have? 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 11. We have 13 mana, 14 mana with the Elvish Spirit Guide, which we could just go Void Winnower and Rhystic and make our opponent's lives absolutely miserable. But I think in this situation, I just shoot the shot here. Moon Silver Key, Basalt, View Library, Basalt Monolith. Close and shuffle. Tap 2 and 3 for a Basalt Monolith. Someone comes to counter it, you Pact of Negation, that's fine. If that lands, then I mean you are able to slam a Void Winnower, pay 1 blue for a Rhystic Study. I don't know, you could Fimage a Dockside here, make a 2nd Void Winnower. You win this game. That was a pretty nutty start. This one, not quite good enough. Here, not quite good enough. Go to 6 on this one. Okay, with the Glittering Caves, it's not too bad. It's still not great. This is a... Oh, yeah, it just doesn't do enough. Look at a 5 here. Yeah, these hands have been not super good. So I think this game is one where your deck just told you to go F yourself. Which, I mean, hey. With the last game being so nutty, you had to have at least 1 bad one, right? So we lose this game, just based on our deck failing us. And then we go to the next one. And cool. we love to see it. We love to see it. Have the full win con in hand. Have a Manglehorn that we can get off a little bit early here, because we're just going to, well, yeah, I think with the combo, okay, yeah, with the combo being how it is, I think I go for the turn 2 Manglehorn here, or turn 2 win. So we'll draw for turn. Okay. Turn one Manglehorn, I mean. So we're just going to Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox, pitch the Scrap Gorger, tap for 3, play a Manglehorn. Feels really great. Turn 2, we are going to Waterlog Grove, tap for 2, play a Kinnan, tap for 2, play a Spellskite. Manglehorn turn 1 should make it very difficult for your opponents to go off on this time frame. I mean, they'd have to remove it. And now, I mean, we're set up to be in fantastic shape. The best thing possible is just drawing a blue card. Did not draw the blue card, which feels a little bad. I'm almost tempted to crack the Waterlog Grove, honestly, and see if we can draw it. It's like a little risky here. We don't want to use the land drop because of this. So look at the table from an interactive perspective. If you feel like you're in a great shot here. I mean, honestly, with this hand, it's like, what else are you doing? We're not at a place of spins. I feel like you're just probably shooting the shot, which if you're shooting the shot for sure, and you know that, there's honestly an argument to spend 1 mana, crack this Waterlog Grove, draw a blue card. Didn't draw a blue card, but we have 3 mana here. Play Basalt Monolith. If it lands, you win the game, you Treasure Vault. If not, that game didn't work out. Here, just absolutely no ramp of any kind. Fantastic. Love to see it. Love to see it for sure. So yeah, I mean, I wish we had a little bit more ramp. Like I wish this was not Mox Amber, but if we can get Kinnan down, it's fine. Let's see how this one goes. So draw for turn. Scalding Tarn. Tropical Island. We'll play a fish. And I don't know. I like to work around wheels, especially if you have a fish. People are more likely to wheel, so I'll take the Mox Amber onto the battlefield here. Go to turn 2. Obviously, we're paying for the fish. Waterlog Grove. Not doing anything else. Oh, I guess we would have drawn a couple cards from the fish, though. Okay. So we would get to play an elf, which is really, really helpful. So now we get to untap on turn 3. We get to pay 2 mana. 2 mana that way, I guess. Well, I guess either way we're not getting to do exactly as much as we'd like here, but that's okay. So we will just, I guess I didn't draw from the fish in the cycle. Okay, I've scuffed this one by forgetting to draw from fish. So here you would just get to tap for 2, Kinnan, tap for 2, Talisman. And now, I mean, you're in pretty good shape. Just hold up the Flusterstorm for the cycle. Go to your turn 4, I think. Which also, I guess, yeah, draw a couple from fish in the cycle. So that'd be those 2. And now we're on our upkeep, considering if we pay for fish. I think it's reasonable to just like assume 2 cards in the cycle. We have to pay 3 mana here if we want to do it. We have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 total mana is our current situation. This doesn't get Trophy Mage, sadly, so we don't actually have a win line directly in hand, so we're just going to keep paying for the fish, and that's totally fine. And then draw for turn. Manglehorn is fantastic. Play out an island here, play out a Lotus Petal, tap for 3 for our buddy Manglehorn. We could tap for 5 for 1 Archaic, and we're still holding up the same interaction. Maybe we, actually no, I'm sorry, this is very dumb. You do not play the Manglehorn. You have a Flusterstorm, so you just go 2, 6, 7. You're going to play out Invasion, looking for Seedborn here. My apologies. Play out a Seedborn Muse, holding up 4 mana still. I mean, we can imagine someone tried to fluster that. Seems reasonable. Untapping your opponent's turns. And didn't crack Lotus Petal yet, but we got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of consistent mana, so we're looking at just 1 spin per turn. We draw a card from the fish and then get 1 spin. Con Sphinx is pretty nice. Draw 2 in our next opponent's upkeep. Throw out another spin on their end step. Just get an elf. Good to know Basalt is on the bottom. And then third one, draw 2 more cards, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Voidwinner. Love to see it. Love to see it. Shut down everything they can do. They can't do nothing to us. Cool. Go to your turn. Probably, honestly, just pay for the fish again, because we just don't have a win line in hand. So go to our next turn. It's going to show us drawing a card here, but I'm just going to tap these guys, pay for fish. And let's look at this situation. I mean, I guess we could... Green Suns for Nyx Bloom is pretty disgusting. It's like a very valid option. We have one counter spell here. How much mana do we have? Could we play Archaic first? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. 11 with a land. Okay. We can actually technically go up 2 more mana with Offer if we want to offer the March, but I don't think we want to do that. Getting on Nyx Bloom feels pretty great, but I guess it's probably safer to just continue to make our opponent's lives really difficult. So I'll go 2 and 3 for a Manglehorn, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a Wandering Archaic. And then Spellskite's really good. I don't know. Maybe Manglehorn's not as important right now, and we should have done... Oh, we haven't played a land for turn. Okay. So actually, we would crack this for Spellskite. We would have played a land first. We would have just played out, I guess Treasure Vault here is kind of whatever, and we would have tapped this earlier in the cost of a spell, and so we would be holding up a blue land, and we would play Spellskite. And I think that's how we go about this. Untap on opponent's turns, and at this position we've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13 mana. So close, so close. So still at 1 spin a turn, sadly, but we will draw 2 from Consphinx. Maybe we'll draw another one from Fish, and then we'll get a spin here while holding up a bunch of mana, which is nice. Sadly, nothing on that one. Go to the next person's turn, tap for 2, draw 2, and then see what we can hit. Okay. There's an Exclamation and a Hallbreaker Horror. We take the Hallbreaker here because then we're just going to win the game. Cool. This hand does not do enough. This hand does not do enough. Wins the game, but it doesn't get there quick enough. And then, I mean, on 5 I keep it, but I hate it, and I'm not winning this game. This is one that's kind of failed. All right, let's think matchups for a second here. Let's say that we have Time in first seat, us in second seat, Tibbet in third seat, and Najila in fourth seat. Let's take a look at hands for that matchup. Does not do enough on the first 7 there. Go to the next one. Wow, I wish this produced some colors and I would be a little more into it. It doesn't quite do anything interactive with the matchup. It's just kind of some mana. Terrible hand again. And on 5, our deck has completely failed us. Not allowed us to do anything this game. I would actually go to 4 on this hand. And this is a 4 I would keep, but I'm once again just not happy about it because we're on 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4? Question mark, question mark. Is there a world I just keep Hallbreaker over Seedborn because we have the win for it in hand? On a Multi 4, I think you're not in the mindset of being interactive or controlling. The expectation is you lose that game. So if you're keeping a hand of 4, I mean, obviously if it's like, oh, I am on 5, I could like keep this other big drop, or I could keep a mental misstep. Like having a mental misstep is still better. Interaction is always good. But especially on 4, you just need to do whatever you can to keep any hand that has some slim possibility of winning the game. And weirdly, this hand can win the game. So I think this is the ones I would go for. We're going to keep that on 4. We'll draw for turn. It's a Metamorph for sure. Rejuvenating Springs, Mana Vault, pass. I would not do anything. I guess there's a world that I would tap the Mana Vault to Metamorph into something. I guess actually if someone had even played like an Arcane Signet, maybe I would do that, because then I can Metamorph into Arcane Signet, tap for 2, play Kinnan. That's probably the world I'm living in. Untap for turn. This is an Arcane Signet now. And we also, I'm sorry, we would have had this last turn as well. Okay, so now we have 5 mana of relevancy to our name. We're getting closer. There's a world you could copy a Timna or something. If someone can play a Dockside, you can actually win the game from this spot. Do I want to reveal the Moonsilver Key? I'm on 4 cards. In this matchup, we're against Tyam, Tivit, and Najila. I mean, Tyam got off to a Staxy front line. Tyam is the ultimate deflection deck. Tivit has got the answers for us. It can hold up a lot. I feel like the surprise is probably better than putting it out on the board and just saying, hey, I'm on low cards and trying to politic that. So I think I withhold it. I think the more likely option here is I tap this for 2 and I Fimage and I copy a Tivit. I would say is most likely what occurs. And from there you get 2 treasures and 3 clues, which is honestly pretty fantastic. Add token. Is clue listed here? Clue's not listed here. So let me get a clue token. I don't know why there's 2 different ones. So we have 3 clues. Which is pretty nice actually, because we can draw a bunch of cards with them. So this is an Arcane Signet. Tap 2, crack a clue, draw a card. Sure. Crack a treasure, Arcane Signet. Now we have 2 of those. Haha. And then probably just save these guys. Honestly though, I kind of want to hit a land drop. Yeah, crack a treasure, crack a clue, draw a card. Alright, didn't do it, but we're still holding up. Oh, I would not have used the treasure though. Sorry, I would have tapped the Arcane Signet. So we are still holding up Mana Drain, which is actually pretty nice here. So we'll go into our next turn at this point. 2-5. Lotus Petal is pretty nice. So we would go to combat, swing with this, hopefully get him a Tivit, make 2 more treasures and 3 more clues. And now we are feeling a lot better. We've got 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15 mana. We have 1 piece of counter magic, so we can go for 2 separate win attempts here, which I really appreciate. So we can just go, I guess Mox Amber's worse. 3 mana for Moonsilver and crack it. And then we can go float 1, Basalt Monolith, go for it. If that lands, you're feeling pretty happy about it. If it doesn't land, whatever. So then you would, crack 1 treasure, Mana Drain. Hopefully that's enough to stop whatever they've got. If not, you lose the Basalt. And you're okay with this, because you still have the Hullbreaker and the Wind Line. So actually we couldn't go for 2 on the same turn. That was incorrect. Crack a treasure. Which actually, I guess you would do this with the Basalt and Mana Drain on the stack. You would crack a treasure, crack a clue, try and draw another counterspell. And you had a Soul Ring there. So now I would just let it go, I think, yeah. You're not getting there. You hit another piece for Hullbreaker. But now you can crack a treasure, play a Soul Ring, tap the Soul Ring, and that's going to let you crack 2 clues. Boop and boop. Play an Ancient Tomb. And honestly, in this position, yeah, screw it. I'm not holding a better action for anyone. I don't care. Megawin. Huzzah. Go to our following turn if we've magically made it to this position. And we will, once again, swing with this. Make 2 treasures. Make 3 clues. We will tap for... Draw 1 card. It's like the worst one. I just want a spell that I could start the loop with, preferably. We've got 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. So we can do it one more time. Pact of Negation. Cool. Can we do it again? 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we can do it again. Tap Ancient Tomb. Get a clue, draw a card. Chord of Calling. I think that technically works. So now we have double protection for it. So we can go 3, 5, 7. Hullbreaker Horror. We can Pact of Negation, get that. Well, actually, wait, that can't be countered, so that doesn't matter at all. But yeah, now we'll just Chord of Calling to start a loop between Mox Amber and Soul Ring, and we have both Pact of Negation. Oh, this is Chord of Calling. We have Pact of Negation and Mental Misstep to back it up. So if we magically got to turn 5 in that matchup, which against time is possible, and they didn't have the right stack pieces, we could win the game there, hypothetically, but I don't see that as super, super likely. I should have said a matchup, but this hand is a gas. I'm very happy to see this hand. Let's assume it's the same matchup in the same situation. No. We're not. This is disgusting. It's a fish game, whatever. Another matchup here. Let's imagine it goes Rogsai on the play, Dihada in second seat, we are in third seat, and we have Blue Farm in fourth seat. So you have one other mid-range deck that you can trust to interact with, but it's also in fourth seat. It's two mid-range decks behind two turbo decks. This is not a favored matchup, and this is one you're looking for an early piece to get down to stall both players out. So let's look at a first 7 here. I mean, honestly, this hand is beautiful against that matchup. Just give me that fish. Let's see what we get here. Swan Song, ability to hold it up early. Dig it. Dig it a lot, honestly. Dig it quite a lot. Okay. So, yeah, let's keep this. Transmute, fine. I think we probably just toss that into Oblivion. Or that or Sightgrift. I don't know, one of the two. Tropical Island as a land for turn. I'm going to exile an Elvish Spirit Guide. Tap 2 for Kinnan. Play a Chrome Mox. Pitching. Transmute lets us win. Sightgrift's not going to matter too much this early, so I think pitch the Sightgrift. Tap this for 2 for a Felwar Stone. I would love to play the Elf, but I'm gonna hold up the Swan Song in this matchup. Be responsible. But that's pretty good turn 1 against this. So now we get to go to our turn 2, hopefully here, where, I mean, realistically, you probably had to use the Swan Song. Go to our turn 2. Okay. Tap this for Arcane Signet. And now we don't know much else we're doing, huh? We're probably just spinning, aren't we? But we wouldn't be able to hold up a spin this turn, so I think maybe it is just Finhorn Elves and hope that Blue Farm can stop the other one once, or Rockside deals with Dihada. I mean, you keep that hand because it is good enough and it does interact, but this matchup is definitely not one you're favored in. So let's see how this looks here. I think that is what I would do. I'm not throwing out the Basalt yet because we couldn't have got a spin off it. Because we would have had to tap this to pay the 2 blue and then pay. Oh, actually, wait a second. We could have got 1 spin. So I would not play the Elf. I wouldn't do that. Tap Arcane Signet for the Transmute artifact. Sacrifice this. Tap this for 2 blue. Use 1 of it to put Basalt into play. So you have 1 blue floating. Tap this for a green, and let's get a spin on the stack. Boom, we love a whiff there, baby. Okay. Cool. So now, I mean, the fortunate thing is there are 2 turbo decks at the table, so people might have to just say, fuck it, he's spinning, he doesn't have the win in hand, he's got 1 card. That's our better odds. You can try and politic that. It's a wonderful thing to do. If you actually make it back to your turn 3, Spellskite, obviously off Assault, and then spin it to win it, baby. Armored Scrap Gorger. Wow. One more. Okay, there we go. Haha. Seaboard Muse. Never didn't have it. Disgusting. That's called high rolling, and it feels really, really nice. So now, I mean, fuck it. Finhorn Elves. Okay, we get to untap in our opponent's turns, and we get 2 spins on each of their turns now. So, Blue Farm's turn. Oh, what do you know? We're going to absolutely obliterate everyone if it actually magically worked out this way. Nyx Bloom Ancient. We already tapped both of these, though, so we don't get extra spins this turn. Still just 1 more. Oh my god, Perplexing Chimera. Oop, we should not have drawn that Mindbreak Trap. The least favorite card for turbo decks to ever see. That puts the fear of God into them. Yeah, okay. There you go, Blue Farm player. That's what exists on your upkeep. Now we are the issue. We get to Rogsai's turn, and now we get to just completely fuck them up. We get 4 spins. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we keep the shit out of a Glenelendra. And then second spin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Thrasios, we win the game. Technically a turn 3 win. Double turbo matchup, but I mean, Roxai and Dihada aren't the most interactive. If we're able to get to this position, then we win the game. Feels pretty good. Let's imagine that one more time, because that one just worked out a little nutty. Same matchup, same positions. Roxai, Dihada, us, and then Blue Farm. I mean, so irresponsible, but it just wins. Let me think about if this is worth it for a second. Sometimes when you're against turbo matchups, it's nice to just keep a hand that says I win. And this hand just says I win. But I guess, okay, so if you go turn 1 elf, turn 2 Ice Cradle, Fellwar Stone, turn 3, can you put a wind attempt on the board with the rest of it? I think you can. I think this hand is so clean that you just keep it because it just says I win on turn 3, but it's a matchup that you're very unlikely to see your turn 3, so this is greedy. I do not normally try and be greedy. This is a very clean win though. Let's just see if it does. Oh my god. Okay, I don't really think I need to waste time playing this out. I don't know. I guess it'll take 5 seconds to just show what happens here. Sometimes it's way better to be lucky than good. That's like just oh my god, just a fact of life. Tap 2. Play Kinnan. Tap 2, Grim Monolith. Tap 4, Basalt Monolith. Infinite colorless mana. Fellwar Stone for 2 blue. Transmute Artifact. Get Treasure Vault. Win game. Woo! We're too good. Always had it. This hand against that matchup, I am so weirdly close to keeping because it's a turn 2 con Sphinx. These are not the hands you keep in these matchups. This is not what you want to do. This is wildly irresponsible, and I don't recommend it at all. I really you shouldn't be doing this. Would I keep this hand in that matchup? I'd really consider it. It's a little nutty. It might. I think it's good enough, but you just gotta say send it. I mean, that's our turn 1. Like, come on, that's disgusting. If we magically make it to turn 2, oh my god, get the fuck out of here. 6 mana. Beat us if you can, baby. 6 cards in this cycle. Win game with Tidespout, maybe. I don't know. You probably win this game, right? Trophy Mage, Basalt, Semi-Signet, Mox Opal, Tidespout. Yeah, this wins. I think. Let's double check. Draw for turn, actually. Oh, well, that would be our draw for turn. Turn 3. Do this. Breeding Pool. I guess we only have 5 mana. Okay, so tap this for 2. Semi-Signet. Mox Opal. Trophy Mage. 3 mana. Okay, so we actually can't full Tidespout this turn, but we get Basalt, and we also get Chimera. We get Basalt, we get Chimera. I don't know if that's actually worth it. Whatever. This game is ridiculous. Okay, new matchup. We are on the play. We are going first against Timna Jeska and Yuriko and Atraxa. So in that matchup, first considerations are you're not keeping the alt dork hand because Jeska's gonna completely fucking obliterate your life if you do that. I will keep 1 dork. I will not keep a double dork hand. But also just be aware that like keeping a dork Kinnan hand just screams kill me with Jeska. So you want to make sure that you have other mana production as well. If you're fully relying on dorks, you're gonna get blown up in the matchup and you're gonna hate your life. Yuriko is such a hard matchup. I mean, really the best thing you can do out of anything is just Gilded Drake the Yuriko, but like the stacks pieces they play are just annoying and something you kind of have to accept as being part of the game. If they get down both Norod and Curse Mirror, you're pretty upset. If they get down one of them, we can play around one of them. It's not the end of the world. Grafdigger's Cage is also annoying. They have every piece that we dislike, but just depends on if they get all of them or one of them or 2 of them, and how good are the flips and how good are the blockers for Yuriko and that kind of stuff. Normally they get at least 1 lane to go into. So Atraxa, pay attention to Calling Ritual. I don't know why, but I've like consistently Gilded Drake their turn 1 delighted halfling recently. But let's see what's up. We're on the play, so Gemstones is turned off, which is a little annoying. But we get turn 1 Scrap Gorger, turn 2 Ristic Study. That is plenty good enough for on the play for me. Keep this and the Gilded Drake for the Eureka. Let's go. Bloodstrand, Tropical Island, Close and Shuffle, Chromox, pitching. There's gonna be mental misstep, but like, which one's actually better? Are we off to a good enough start that I don't care about Gilded Draking the Eureka? I don't know. It's kind of a tough call. How do we lose this matchup? We lose this matchup because of Jessica, or because of Eureka, or because of Culling Ritual. None of these things are stopped by a mental misstep. But it is nice to have the mental misstep against Tim and Jessica, who fires off a billion tutors, and Atraxa, who fires off a billion tutors. So I don't think we're going to rely on Gilded Drake this game. I think I'd rather have the misstep. As much as I asked for this, I think on the play I would rather do this. Armor Scrap Roger. Go to turn 2. Love it. Let's go ahead and crack it. Breeding Pool. Tap 2 for the Boy Wonder. And then we'll play out a Heuristic Study. And we're very unlikely to get blown up by Jessica, specifically this turn. Draw 2, maybe 3 cards in the cycle. Because turn 2, untap. Wooded Foothills, crack it for a forest. Getting low on fetchables. We only got one more. Then we currently have the 7 manas, which means we can win the game if we don't think there's interaction. What was it? It was Timna Jessica, Eureka, and Atraxa. Atraxa and Eureka are generally pretty good about having interaction. You could just like play it slow here, and that's totally reasonable. I think I might. I mean, with the you could play a Seedborn. It's close. So the two lines to consider here are you can Tezzeret, get Basalt, and then Green Suns for Thrasios, and that wins the game. Or you can just Green Suns for Seedborn, which still probably wins the game. But the different thought process here is if you're assuming something might get countered, right, you can test with the Tezzeret, and then you still have this for the Seedborn later. Or you can do this for the Seedborn to test, and then you still have this for the Basalt later. So you're kind of weighing your options there. But then you're also saying, if I think the window is clear, if you think the window is clear, you go for the higher upside line. And so then in that situation, you would Tezzeret for, 5 manas, go get Basalt, and then Green Suns for Thras. Turn 3 win, baby. It's always funny because the wins look faster when you're OBSing, but, in actual gameplay, you end up playing a little slower, a little less greedy a lot of the time. It's just when there's no game state to look at, you're more willing to just say, hey, this is what you could do. This is so close. So close. All right, next game. Let me give you a different matchup, though. We have Kirik in first seat. Kirik is on the play. We have, what are some top decks? Dargo Thrasios in second seat. We have Timna Halana in third seat, and we have us coming up the rear in fourth seat. First thought here is don't lose to Kirik, and I'm really going to hope that the Dargo Thras player is also on that page, because Kirik on the play, you want to have free interaction turn 1 without a doubt. So let's take a look at the first 7. I see Force of Will, but I see no blue card, and I see not a good hand otherwise. Go to second 7. Ooh, the fish hand with a ton of ramp. Okay, so I know what I just said, and what I said was definitely real words that meant something, but this is a good enough hand that you keep it, because this is disgusting. And you say, hey, Dargo Thras, I hope you have the answer to Kirik. I'm doing a very bad job properly representing my lack of greed in these videos, but this hand's gross. We keep this. We can't cast it, but it feels good, right? So yeah, we just go City of Brass, Mox Diamond, pitch this, play a Kinnan, play a Mox Amber, play a Fishy, and even Kirik is like, wow, are you gonna win before me? Draw with a Keurig deck like 4 cards in the cycle, maybe 5 with interaction being used, and now we have Fluster held up, which feels really, really good if we actually make it to our turn 2. So we draw on turn 2, and let me think before I draw if we're paying for fish here. The answer is yes, we are paying for fish here. So we untap for turn draw. We have the 4 up to the 5 manas. We could Ancient Tomb into the One Ring while holding up Fluster. I think that's the line. So yeah, Ancient Tomb, Mox Amber, play out the One Ring, tap it, and draw an additional card. This is 1 counter on it. And now we're holding up Flusterstorm, which feels nice. We have to discard to hand size. I mean, Gemstones is pretty easy to get rid of there. So that's our current situation. We 100% have to use the Flusterstorm in the cycle, hopefully make it to our following turn. Where at this point, are we going to get rid of the fish? With the One Ring going, maybe? Our hand doesn't really do very much. The fish only costs 2. I think I would pay for the fish, so I'm going to pay for the fish. So we do that. We tap the One Ring on upkeep as well. I guess we actually could tap the One Ring. Oh, that's an interesting line I haven't thought of. We can stack the triggers so that it goes One Ring, take a life on top of the stack, and then the fish trigger underneath it. And in response to the fish trigger, we tap the One Ring and draw 2. And if we see these as our stuff with the pact of negation, then we let the fish go, maybe? Or do we not care, actually? Oh, we don't care. We still pay for fish anyway, because then if we're interacting with it, we draw more cards. So you're paying for fish anyway there, and then you draw for turn. And now, I mean, haha, I get fucked. Play Emergent Zone and tap for 3, play Basalt Monolith. Oh, you have a counterspell, hilarious. Pact negation. Also, I drew a card from your counterspell. Ooh, awesome. So we do that, and then that lands, and then we play Thrasios, and then we say we win. Awesome. Yeah. I think I might cut it off a little shorter today. I have no idea how long this has gone on, but this has been Goldfishing Kinnan on Tuesday, September 5th. I hope you enjoyed my super greedy, uninteracted with TED Talk.